Welcome back to day number 319. My name is Mary, and today's story title is God Comes to Saul. Saul, the young man who had taken part in the death of Stephen and scattered the believers in Christ, was still the bitter enemy of the gospel. He heard that some of those who had run away from Jerusalem had gone to Damascus, a city outside the Jewish land far in the north, and they were still at work teaching Christ. Saul made up his mind to destroy this new church in Damascus. As he thought he had destroyed the church in Jerusalem. So he went to the high priest and said, "Let me have a letter to the chief of the Jews in Damascus. I have heard there are some followers of Jesus of Nazareth in that city. I will go with some men, take these people, bind them, and bring them in chains to Jerusalem." The high priest gave Saul the letters he asked for, and Saul found a band of men to go with him to Damascus. It was a journey of about 10 days, riding on horses or mules. While Saul was on his way to Damascus, he had tried to think about Christ and his gospel. He saw again in his mind Stephen's shining face and heard his words. He thought of the sweet, patient way the followers of Jesus had met suffering at his hand. Deep in Saul's heart, there rose a feeling he could not put down that said the gospel of Christ was true and it was wicked for him to fight it. Yet he went on firm in his purpose to destroy the church of Christ. I'm going to share with you a picture, and it says, "A light from heaven flashed around Saul." And here it is. At last he came near Damascus. Suddenly, at full noon, a light flashed from heaven, brighter than the sun. For the time the light blinded Saul. It came so suddenly that it struck him down, and he fell on the ground. In the midst of the light, Saul saw one he had never seen before. A strange voice came to him, saying, "Saul, Saul, why are you fighting against me?" Saul answered, "Who are you, Lord?" Then the answer came, "I am Jesus. Who are you trying to destroy?" Trembling with surprise and alarm, Saul said, "Lord, what will you have me do?" The Lord said to Saul, "Rise up and go into the city. You will be told what you must do." Those who were with Saul wondered, for they had seen a light and heard a sound, but they had seen no face and heard no words. The vision of Christ had come to Saul alone. They picked him up from the ground and found he had been blinded by the brightness of the light. They led him by the hand into the city and took him to the house of a man named Judas. There Saul stayed for 3 days, suffering in body and mind. He could see nothing, and he did not eat or drink. But in the darkness, he was praying to God and Christ with all his heart. And that was the end of our word from the Lord. Now we come to our discussion questions, and there are 3 of them. Number 1, why did Saul want to go to Damascus? Why did Saul want to go to Damascus? Number 2, what did Saul ask the high priest for? What did Saul ask the high priest for? Number 3 and last, what happened when Saul came close to Damascus? What happened when Saul came close to Damascus? And with that last question, we are ending day number 390. Thank you for being there, for listening to the great bedtime Bible stories. I'm happy to know that there are some people out there viewing and listening. May God bless us all until next time. Take care. Bye for now.